So we will cover all the tuple operations. So first we will use the creating, how we have to create this tuple. So first we have make a variable, and then a parenthesis we have to use to make a tuple, and we have to enter the data types, which is integer, character, float, anything. So when we have to print this, my tuple is my tuple. One second. When we have to run this code, so we will explain one thing, and then see the output. So when we print this my tuple, you can see in this output console, so my tuple is printed. And next operation is how we have to access the element which is present in a tuple. We have to use the my tuple, the tuple variable name, and give that a index which value you have to access. So when we have to type this my tuple, and index is a 0, it will print the first zeroth element or first element which is present in a tuple. And you can access the elements likewise using this subscript. So if you want to access the third element, you can write subscript 3. It will give you a third element which is a 1, 2, and third, which is present in a tuple. So next we have to use the slicing, how we have to use the slicing method in a tuple. So we have to write that variable name or a tuple where we have to use store the tuple. And this one is the starting point, and 4 is the ending point where you have to slice that tuple. So you can see that 2, 3, and a is printed in the output console, because when you see that, so it is a starting point where is a 2, it is a zeroth element, and it is the first, second, and third. Okay, so fourth is here is excluded, not included. So in this manner you can slice these tuples. And when you want to print the length of the tuple, so basically you have to use this length function. So use this length, and then tuple variable name, it will give your length of this tuple which is present in your tuple, all the elements stored. So next operation is a repetition. So if you want to repeat the elements which is your initial tuple, so I'm creating here a tuple 1 which is equal to 1, 2, and 3. These are these elements which is stored in a tuple 1, and I'm creating a new variable that is a repeated tuple. And if we have to multiply this tuple name, which is our main tuple, and multiply with 3, it will store the 1, 2, 3 entities 3 times, as you can see this in output console. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we have to check that an element is a present in a tuple or not. So we have to use that a where you want to access this. Here a is because a is present in our initial tuple, which is a my tuple. So you can use this membership operator, that is a in. So a in a my tuple, if it is a present, then it will return true. If it is not present in your main tuple or tuple where you have to use this operation, it will return a false. As you can see, a uh, element is stored in your tuple, but x is not stored in your tuple, so it will return in case of a it is the true, but in case of x it is false. Okay, so let's move on next. So we have to use this index. It is return the index of the first occurrence in this your tuple variable. So use this my tuple dot index and subscript that a, which element you want to use this where it is a present. Okay, so it will return the index of a in a tuple is a 3, as we have to see this earlier. When we have to access that element, we have to use there. So their next method is a count method. It will return the number of occurrence which is your in a tuple. So if you want to access any, or you have to want to see that how many times your element store in your tuple, so you have to use this dot count function. So tuple name and dot count, and subscript which element you want to count, how many times it will store or return this value. So 2 our present in tuple is a one time, then it will return this one. And next function is a minimum and maximum function. It will return the maximum and minimum value of this tuple. So here our new tuple I'm created here as a numeric tuple, and some values have to assign, that is a 10, 5, 8, 20, and 15. So we have to use this minimum function and max function, which is a inbuilt functions in a Python. So when we have to print that minimum numeric tuple, it will print your minimum value of your tuple which is present in your main tuple, and maximum function is used to print that the maximum value which is present in your tuple. So it will the maximum value is a 20 in your tuple, so it will return the 20. Next is any and all. So if we have to use this, if any function is used, if any value of true is present in your tuple, it will return a true. If and all function is used here, because if all the values are true in your tuple, then it will return a true also, it will return, else it will return your false value. So when you execute these programs, any bool tuple, because bool tuple has contains true, false, true and true. So here any one is a true, then it will return a true, so it will return this true. But in case of function, all the function has to be true, then it will return only true, else it is return the false. Okay, move on next. So next is the sorted method. It will return the new sorted list from your tuple which is store your elements. So I am creating a new tuple which is unstored tuple, that is some elements written in there, and create a new variable that is a sorted list. And we have to use this sort function, that is sorted, and this the tuple name which you have to use this sort that value, and then print that variable name where you have to use this function. So if you print this, you will see this, and your sorted tuple is created. Okay, so we have to use this type conversions to list to tuple and tuple to list. If you want to change the tuple to list, you have to use this list function, and then you have to use that variable name where you have to change list to tuple or tuple to list. So if you want to change the tuple to list, you have to list, because your tuple variable changes into list. And if you want to use list to tuple, converting list to tuple, you have to use that tuple function, that is a change your list to tuple. So if you want to print this, then you have to see this, the tuple to list change is this, and list to tuple is changing this. And then we will use this reversed order, return a reverse iterator from a tuple. So we have to use that reverse tuple and reversed my tuple. So tuple, because we have to use this tuple operation, so first we have to use this tuple. Okay, and then reversed, and the subscript, there is a tuple variable which we have to already define. If you want to print this, then you can see this, it is a reverse order, because in the first case we have to see this 1 2 3 a b and c in the top of our program. Okay, so next is a zipping and combine of this two tuples. So tuple 1 and tuple 2, I am creating that tuple 1 contains 1 2 3 and tuple 2 contain a b c, and create a new tuple variable that is a combined tuple, and use this a tuple zip. And here is a subscript where you want to add or zipping combine these tuples arguments. So tuple 1 and tuple 2, I am combine this, so we have to use this tuple 1 and tuple 2. And when we print this, it will combine your tuple like this manner. Okay, so next is the enumerate function. So index and value pair. So in this enumerate function, it will return that index with this value. So we have to use this for loop. So for index, it will return that index to check, and value is enumerate a my tuple, it will check that your tuple variables is present, and then it will print. So we have to use this index and their value using this for loop. When you execute this, then you can see this, your index 0 has contains value 1, index 1 is contains value 2, index 2 contain value 3, likewise. Okay, so next is using all function with this greater expression. Okay, so all greater than 0 value, I am creating this variable, and use this function that is all, and x is a greater than 0 for x in numeric tuple. So it will return a true if every elements which is your numeric tuple is greater than 0, it will return true, or it will return false. So we have to see this, every numeric tuple we have to use the use in upper side, you can see this upper tuple is a literal 10 5 8 20 and 15. This is our numeric tuple. So here every element is greater than 0, so it will return the value as a true. Okay, And next is using a sum function to calculate their tuple summation. So you have to use this sum and then give that tuple variable name where we have to your element is stored, and then it will add all the elements. Okay, and you return this the function. Okay, so next function is using this slice notation to create a copy tuple. So if you have to copy this tuple, so tuple is a copy and my tuple, here we have to use this column. So it is a starting point and it is a ending point. If you don't give any argument here, it will take by default initial is a 0 and ending with a n plus 1. It will copy all the elements you are present in your initial tuple or original tuple. So if you print this my tuple, then you can see this your original tuple is a copy and all the elements has to be copy in your new tuple variable. Okay, and second is this last function is the concatenation of a tuple using a plus operator. So we have seen that a my tuple variable name where we have to store this value 1 2 3 a b and c, and then I'm creating a new tuple that is a tuple 3 where it will contains x y and z, and we have to use this plus operator to combine this. And when we have to print this concatenated tuple, it will print the tuple, a new tuple which is combined your my tuple and tuple 3 variable. So this is some basic operations which we have to uh, use on a tuple. So that's from my side.